Hi everybody, I am angry. I am really quite fucking angry. I am walk through an apartment with a gun blowing people away to the sound of Mozart angry. And I'm this angry because of the way PayPal has decided to leverage their position as pretty much the only large-scale online payment transfer service. And the way they've decided to use that influence is to censor people. Particularly writers of erotica and adult material, and it's probably going to go on to be artists and photographers in the same way. Why is this a big deal? Well, these are legal things, right? There's nothing illegal about it in most countries and territories. You know, porn is porn. I may not get off on the things that are being banned, but it's no skin off my nose if you do, you know? I may not get off on hermaphroditic furry porn. If you do, more power to you. Doesn't make the slightest bit of difference to me, doesn't make the slightest bit of difference to my neighbours, doesn't make the slightest bit of difference to any fucking body, anywhere, at any time. Alright? It's your business. If that's what you want to spend your money on, fair enough. No skin off my nose. But this slippery slope fallacy, but this is the thin end of the wedge. If a company decides that they can restrict how you want to spend your money, where's it going to stop? Alright? This isn't the first example of this happening. eBay, there's issues with people selling sex toys and things, even if they're brand new. It's a really muddy area. And the problem is that PayPal has this stranglehold on the market. There are no other competitors. They're pretty much the only one, at least the only one that's reasonably priced and reasonably set up. And it doesn't make sense. This is a huge amount of business. This is billions of dollars internationally, billions upon billions of dollars. And surely you would think that this company would want a slice of that, of the adult market, which has always driven the internet, be it pornographic videos or whatever. It's always been right up there at the forefront, driving the technology, driving the revolution, and there's a little surprise that it's at the forefront of ebooks. You know? Now they say that this is for financial reasons, that there's more returns, I guess, buyer's remorse, contested payments, and things like that for adult materials because it's controversial and shaming. Well, you know, you're not exactly solving that by continuing the feeling of shame and secrecy and upset that people have in buying things that turn them on. You're contributing to that shame. You're making it worse. You're not solving the problem. If you wanted to solve the problem, you would step up and say, you know what, it's fine. You buy what you like, it's your money, cool, no problem. But that's not the way it is. So that excuse doesn't even hold water, I don't think, because at least through PayPal, it's the seller who handles all that shit. Yeah, I really honestly doubt that it's going to be that much different for adult products being bought through PayPal than any other product, really. And let the buyer, let the seller take the risk, let the buyer take the risk. Well, why are you even involved at this point? And the thing is, right, even that excuse doesn't hold up, because even sites that are giving away the erotica content for free alongside their other material, they're getting into trouble over this. I believe this is accurate at this point, but Smashwords, one of the main ebook sites involved in this, being hit on by PayPal, the people who are giving away erotic stories for free have also been hit. You know, the same takedown notices. You take this down, or we're going to be in trouble with PayPal. So it's quite clear that it is not just a monetary concern. Yeah, even that thin veneer of bullshit gets stripped away pretty fucking quickly. And objectionable content. Who is really to judge what is pornographic or not? Yeah? And what is wrong with something being pornographic? And what is wrong with something being transgressive? Right? These are books, often cathartic, often by women authors, dealing with transgressive sexual topics. So fucking what? Storybook characters can't be hurt. It doesn't matter if little Adele is, put through a mangle for someone's sexual pleasure, because she's not fucking real. And like I said, how do you judge? How do you judge what's porn? Titillation with no artistic merit. Well, I can find artistic merit in just about fucking anything. Alright? The majestic way a trickle of jizz rolls down an actress's face. A particular turn of phrase in a rape scene in a book. Right? These things can affect you. Who are you to judge? If you want to see titillation with no artistic merit, if you want to see pornography, read the fucking Daily Mail. Just because they're titillating about racism rather than sex half the time, what difference does that fucking make? There's no evidence that these things have a bad effect on society or upon the people that consume them. In fact, quite the fucking opposite. Give someone a safe outlet, and crimes go down, rapes go down, things like this. It's less of an issue, not more. The worry seems to be that if you're into this sort of fiction, you can't tell the difference between reality and fantasy. That's pretty fucking wide of the mark. Because from what I can see, the only people who can't tell reality from fantasy are the people objecting to it. Because they can't comprehend that you might be into something that you wouldn't actually do in real life. Statistics say something like 40% of women have rape fantasies. Does that mean they actually want to be raped? No. It means they have a fantasy, an idea, a platonic ideal. It doesn't mean they go out and try and get someone to attack them, does it? It doesn't mean they would enjoy it if it did happen. It's a fucking fantasy. What business is it of yours, or mine, or anybody else's, what gets someone's jollies off, provided it's all legal and above board and nobody gets hurt, alright? If you like to be spanked, who gives a fuck? If you like to shove bananas up your ass, who gives a fuck? If you like to read about women having sex with horses, who gives a fuck? I don't. You shouldn't. Alright? What this basically means is that when you put money into PayPal, right, it's no longer money. It's like book tokens, which are like money, but not as useful, because you can only spend them on one thing. Books. I happen to like books, but still. It's my money, I want to spend it on what I want to spend it on, provided it's legal. Alright? That's the only basis you have for stopping me spending my money on what I want, as if it's illegal. Don't let me spend it on drugs, don't let me spend it on guns, whatever, but if I want some porn that's legal in my country, let me spend it. The irony of this is the guy, one of the main founders of PayPal, Peter Thiel, at least I think that's how you pronounce it, it's TH, characterises himself as a libertarian. And I'm sure that the idea of a government legislating in such a way as to stop people expressing their sexuality would piss him the fuck off. But for some reason he sees it as okay if he leverages his corporate power to do that to people. And that's not just hypocritical, it's not on. You might think this doesn't affect you, maybe you don't like gay unicorn porn. Well, no, it does affect you, because very similar policies with the exact same cut and paste boilerplate are turning up other places. Google Wallet, credit card agreements, CC Bill, all over the place there seems to be some kind of weird moral panic going on. And that is going to affect others. In some of them it mentions occult materials. How do you think that's going to affect the supernatural genre or gaming? Alright? Now, I'm not an erotica author. I've written some erotica. I've had a couple of pieces accepted to anthologies, and they're now under risk because of all this. And I've also written some games with adult content, Hentacon and so on. What's going to happen next? Are they going to come after Drive-Thru, RPG Now? Am I going to lose some of my best-selling games because of this? Yeah, I'm a little worried about sticking my head over the parapet and making this video, because maybe that'll draw attention. But you've got to stand up and say something, haven't you? Otherwise you're just rolling over. If you think this doesn't affect you, if you think this isn't an issue, if you think you shouldn't be able to spend your fucking money on whatever you fucking want,